Amplifying the voice of athletes. Finally speaking, they gotta feel this. Taking control of the story we live. Turn every loss to a lesson we give. Giving hope to the next generation.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ejo Side Kenty with Flip the Culture Podcast, where the culture won't change until we do. Got a special guest here. I say all my guests are special, but it's a special guest. All right, WesCam. How you doing, man?
What up, man? What's going on?
Hey, bro, I appreciate you for being here, bro. We're going to hop right into it because you have a very, I don't want to say complex because that sounds like disrespectful.
Complex is fair.
Oh, you said, okay.
No, it's fair.
All right. All right. So, yeah, man, you have a very complex story, bro. And I want to try to get into as much as possible.
For sure.
My first question to you is, who were you before
Okay.
you put on the jersey, and what sport did you play, bro?
Oh, okay, cool. So
Sports.
Yeah. So context. I am a product of single parent home, right? So like my mom was military. So she was not in the military but worked for it. So she's used to traveling. So Huntsville, Alabama is what I say is my hometown. But of course we had to move there for it to eventually be.
Right.
Now, if anybody knows anything about Huntsville is one of the most tight-knit family groups you will ever be. Same way like Birmingham, right? Like people who are family and friends that grew up together.
Right.
Huntsville was smaller at the time, so the black populations that knew each other, they all knew each other. Now we're getting input into that at like the age of 3, so we don't have no family there, right?
Yeah.
So context, my mom would just, to keep me busy, try sports. But these sports that I was trying, I was playing with people who were all growing up together.
How old were you when you first started?
Probably like 5, just to keep me busy. So like it looked like soccer, it looked like basketball, to answer your question. But it was just to keep me occupied.
Yeah.
I didn't even really care about what I was doing. I was just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
It was only until Big Brothers Big Sisters came about that changed. Because up until that point, kind of like music and just like art and like drawing and like I always had other creative ideas, music a little bit in terms of rap, but not even seriously on that level. But once Big Brothers Big Sisters happened, ironic, and like I love my big brother to death, I do, and I'll say his name because I wouldn't be here without him. Tim Pringle was my mentor. He had a son that was a year younger than me, so I always call him my little brother. But he did basketball. That was his only sport. And so Tim loved to coach it as well. He saw me and was like, playing like the violin?
Dang.
We might have to change that, right? Like, I like in the best way possible. I think he just saw that sports wasn't my motivation.
Yeah.
So he was like, as like this masculine figure in my life now, I need to make sure, for lack of better terms, you got a backbone. And so I think sports was his way of saying, this is the way we're going to do it. And basketball became that. So now, because again, single mother, I don't have no brothers around, like nothing like that. I don't have an investment until he becomes the investment to where he's like, no, I want to make this your thing. And now I have somebody to go back and forth of. Because my mom wasn't going to get out there and shoot free throws and play defense. Like, none of that. She was just like, if you're good and you're happy, great. He actually was the one that kind of pushed basketball into that. So hopefully that answered all your question at one time.
No, that's good. You actually segued into another question, bro, because that's not how can I put this? That's not the verbatim everybody's story.
For sure.
But there's a lot of similarities,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Like football was my dad's thing, right? So he put me in there and it's like, okay, he coached me up in a way where he was like, hey, like Kenty, man, don't quit.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if I can't quit, then give me the tools to be good at something,
sure.
right? So let's say you use the term a backbone, right? Do you think that there are other lived experiences that you would have gotten his perceived backbone from, and what would those experiences have been in that season of your life?
At that point in time, no. And the only reason I say no is because that one was the one that dramatically changed everything.
Wow.
So there are certain outlets, like when you're in a single mother home like I was, my grandparents were huge. So the closest male I had at the time was my uncle.
Yeah.
But like I'm only going over there whenever I'm not in school in Huntsville. I was in Columbus, Georgia, just doing nothing, basically. Like they might throw me in Taekwondo. I didn't care about Taekwondo. I like PlayStation. I'd go to Taekwondo so I can play PlayStation in the lobby. But like outside of that, take me home. Wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
Swimming, like cool, I'll get it. Take me home. I just want to kick it. Put me with a square sheet of paper, a pencil, and Power Rangers, and I'm straight.
Yeah.
For the day. So like my uncle was the one who I could go to, but he wasn't like, this is who you are as a man. He would put stuff in front of me that allowed me to like kind of creatively, like just outlets. So like pro wrestling was one of those. Like he was the type to where, oh, like grown men smacking each other with chairs. This sounds right. We should, you know what I'm saying? Like this should be the thing. And so I fell in love with it ultimately. But it was stuff like that. It was just things that kept me busy, and rap was one of them too.
Yeah.
To where I'd see him like work on music. His introduction for that to me at a young age was the reason why I could face things like having conversations about my father. Right? It gave me an outlet to what could form a backbone.
Yeah.
At least just give me opportunities to release.
Right.
But basketball was always the thing, because what happens in my middle school years is what affirmed me to say, oh, if I can get through this, and then where we ended up in the high school levels, my main story comes from that middle school to high school transition.
All right, and let's get into that.
Let's do it.
And we're gonna pull that rap with us.
For sure.
Okay, we're gonna pull that because I mean, yeah.
Let's do it. No, you good. You good.
I know more than the audience.
It's your show.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. No, it's yours. I'm just living it, bro. Yeah. All right. So like, what? You said like middle school that changed everything, and it catapulted you to a whole nother
For sure.
like dimension, bro. So what happened during that time frame?
Man, that's so funny. We were just talking about it too, about people thinking like they're the best.
Yeah.
I was never. And so year-wise, because like my grandparents taught me how to read early, I was a year age-wise behind my class. So I was already playing up, basically. So once I finally started working with Tim, started to learn like how to dribble, like the bare minimum, at that time, I thought I was the best, but it never happened.
Yeah.
And so the team he coached for was called the Huntsville Heat. And so everybody on that team knew each other from the time they were sprouts. I mean, everybody knew each other. So I'm coming into this thing like I don't really have y'all same relationships. And remember, I'm also a grade ahead. So my age group doesn't even give me an opportunity to really get to know these kids. My age group is like, I'm physically a year behind, basically. Dang. Long story short. But in that AAU segment, I'm right where I need to be. But at that point, their chemistry was great. Their skill sets were great. They've loved the game of basketball since they were kids. I'm just trying to find my way. And so 7th grade and 8th grade, I was only named an alternate to those teams. So I wasn't even officially really on the team.
Right.
I still paid the same money. So my mama was like, you going, right? But I was never guaranteed a shot to play.
Wow.
I was like the 15th, 14th player on a 13-man real roster. So most of these Atlanta trips, Nashville trips, every trip that we had, I'm probably on the bench. I'm just watching for the most part and competing in practice to make my way. So that happens 7th grade, it happens 8th grade until we go to Memphis for nationals. And we got crop dusted. I mean, we got beat to sleep in a way that for parents was uncomfortable.
Dang.
Not because it was like that bad, it was because players weren't getting opportunities to play. And it's like, if your starters are getting beat to sleep like this, why are you just dragging us up here to not get opportunities to play, right?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't making sense. And my most sober moment, because also I'm trying out for the middle school teams too. Like, I'm like, ooh, at AAU, I'm playing my age level. In school ball, I'm playing a grade basically ahead, trying to match both worlds, but I get the same results. So middle school, those tryouts, they were like, yeah, you were one person away. You were our final cut. 7th grade. You were our final cut. 8th grade, for a kid that ironically got kicked off the team because of his grades. And so along the way, it really just taught me like I had to do the very, very little things right.
Yeah.
Like my letter had to be correct. Grade wise, I couldn't be a problem. School wise, I couldn't be a problem. Just to get an opportunity for my skills to be looked at right on the court. Because again, everybody's in the same look. But when we go to Memphis, that probably was my hardest hit moment because I think I cried for a sec. And it wasn't one of those like I need my mom to pick me up off the floor moments. It was just one of those moments where I'm like, I never want to be here again. And I would do whatever it takes to never be a part of this situation again. So fast forward a little bit, going into 9th grade, I got rid of glasses because I was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for real. I swear. As an adult, I wish I had a pair of those goggles now because I hate putting in contacts. I don't care what you think about me now. But back then, it made a difference. I got contacts. I grew a couple of inches. And me and Tim said, this will be the summer that changes everything.
Yeah.
And from there, going to 9th grade, I finally make the school team. But I was like the 5th, 14th person. Still, everybody, core group, chemistry, everybody just rocking. I'm just happy to be there. I'm like, look at me. Hey, y'all. I can tell you to come to my game, and I got a school name on it. Going into the fall, I officially make the team. I get, for some reason, I don't know what skill set was. I think it was just the confidence. AAU gave me an opportunity in between, like, then and just some of my other, like, summer trainings. So I just get better and work on my game to where now I'm the captain of this ship. I don't care what y'all do. I'm going to make my presence felt on this. And I finally do make that team, which is like to make the freshman team at that time. I know it sounds compared to like varsity and NBA. You couldn't tell me anything. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was still like 6 man, but like you couldn't tell me nothing.
I mean, going from the 14th man to the 6th man, that's
for
a big
sure.
jump.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And like now I'm kind of in that social group of like the kids who were growing up together that I definitely didn't have that type of chemistry or rapport with. Now I do. And now I'm getting a chance to see like how their practice habits were, or okay, not just practice habits. How were y'all in the classrooms? Because y'all are silly, like, and not silly in the way of like it's fun. Y'all are silly as in like y'all stay in trouble. Y'all grades are never great. Like y'all are always like outside of the court, average, and that bothered me to no extent. Probably bothered me way more than it should have. But it bothered me again to make sure because of how I had to get to this point to make sure all my ducks were in a row. So like if a school had a rule like you need to tuck your shirt if it went past your pockets, I was the guy. Right? If it was you need to make sure you had practice at this time. This like a teacher will never have anything bad to say about me. My grades will always be on point. But I probably was the one that got the most joked on and or / picked on out of everybody. By all means. If I did not have thick skin, I would have folded. And there are moments where I did fold, but not like in a way of like packed it up, just a way of like, all right, I just know what I'm getting into. Condition your mind right. It is what it is. They gonna make their jokes. They gonna make their whatevers. Do you think? Right? Here's where the story gets into where we are. 9th grade, 10th grade, we always had seniors and juniors that were like, I mean, it was a loaded class. So going into 10th grade, we were the worst JV team I think they've had in like decades. We were awful. Like, and like, ironically, it was always just, we were 3 points away from being good. But like, we just never could close the game.
But
so
that
like,
record,
that record, we only won like 6 games that year. And I'm talking about one of us had already gotten moved up because of transfer issues with one of the seniors. So he got moved up. He's playing varsity. Outside of that, you're looking at all sophomores and like a one junior. Transitioning into that year, our biggest question is what they're going to do because now they have 11 seniors returning. 11. They actually don't have to take any of us at all. But year by year, they have transitioned a couple people onto the roster. And so, again, was not my best season. By no means. I was sitting here like, this is going to be rough. Head coach comes in at the end of the season for them. Because he moves nobody up for playoffs. He's just like, y'all sit there. We're fine. They lose. But it is what it is. It had nothing to do. Moving one of us up wasn't going to make them better. It was just, traditionally, they normally move somebody up to like, okay, we know at least these 3 will get a chance to move up. He moved nobody up. So we're all just waiting on edge to see what they're going to do. And so it comes down to it, and he brings us all in the locker room. And we're all just watching, and, you know, we're sitting and listening. And he goes on for like 2 minutes about this speech of, you know, we appreciate your hard work in this program. And, you know, we've made everything, you know, what it is. And Outside of it, you kind of hear kids like say, "Oh, I'm a transfer. I'm gonna go here. I know I'm good enough to do X, Y, and Z. They're looking for this." Like they've already positioned themselves for whatever that next space is gonna be. I'm just vibing. He says, "All right, and out of everybody here, we're moving forward with Wes, and everybody else is cut. Wes, get your stuff. Go to the varsity locker room. Get dressed. We got practice in like 10." And now I'm sick. Like I'm sick. I'm like, I don't know if it's survivor's guilt. I don't know if it's a conversation because like these are my homies. Like some of them are my homies now. Like the ones or two where it was like, you know, we not like the best, but like we vibing here. Like they became my friends. And like I'm sitting here because I was the last name. I think everybody thought for a second in a position where I'm uncomfortable with the new level of success. So to think about, go ahead.
We gonna go back
Go ahead
to the story. We gonna go ahead
sure.
because we gotta unpack that, man.
Go ahead.
Because even though that it's a powerful moment, but I believe that moments show up again.
100%.
So have you worked on anything in your adult life that warranted a response where it was like, man, I didn't get it. And it's like, dang, okay, next year, okay, I'm working just as hard. I didn't get it. And it's like, okay, I finally get it. And I have a room full of people. I got people around me that I know they've been inside this experience with me, but without a shadow of a doubt, I know that the work I've put in with this, I've been disciplined, I've done the X, Y, and Z. But you're moving and being called to a place where they can't go.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's for a different reason.
Yeah.
World Games was like that. So performing for the World Games.
Okay, performing.
Yeah,
I said we was gonna go back and get that. Yeah, we're gonna get that rap. Yes, sir. Okay.
Performing for the World Games was like that because for those who do or do not know, WesCam, WesCam, is a artist persona that is just as real in real life, but coming off my senior season, which is where that's the most life-changing moment happens there. Coming off my senior season, I said I think I want to try rap. And so again, all of the community in Huntsville in those areas know each other, right? Like they know who they are. They've worked on music forever. And like Facebook at the time, Facebook, MySpace, social support was different. Because I was, again, kind of always looked at as like the outcast or the one that was like either not cute enough to be like popular or like not also good enough to be like, you know, the top athlete, whatever it was. Music was the same way. And so eventually it's a fast forward getting from a place where, because I was also doing Christian music too, it really was like, not only that you're not good, because I was, we just don't want to see it. Yeah. Which is a very odd space to be in, where it's like, yo, hey, bro, I'm shooting from like half court. Like I'm the fastest person out here. My 40-yard dash is incredible. And they're just like, yeah, but we're just not gonna pay you attention. And like at that point in time, it doesn't matter if you're the best or the greatest, you're just not viewed. And so music was like that for a while, to where I'm working, I'm putting out some of the best stuff I can, artist wise, creative wise, I'm there. But then the World Games happens, and I'm almost in that position of like, if I audition for this, there's nothing that makes sense as to why I should get this. Nothing makes sense when I look at this person's credential here, this person's great here. At the best, I just don't curse in music. So like, it's family friendly. Okay, let's try that. But nothing actually checked out to where if you looked at the stats or the plays or anything like that, it should have happened. And then to see where the audition led, great audition, still didn't necessarily know how it was gonna go, for no other rap artist to get chosen except for me. Out of all the applications, same situation. Yeah. Where I'm like I almost feel survivor's guilt of like, how did we get here? This is a moment of success. I've seen this before, but also at the same time, it's still like surreal to actually think as well too. So that's another moment where it was just like, where are we right now?
Yeah. So how'd you get to? Because I also want to talk about where you've been able to lead for the past I can't even say couple of years,
Yeah.
but what you've been able to be in charge of, man, to just give back to the community, bro. Because I see from a distance where it's like, dang, they're saying roster.
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of
Yeah.
athletic vernacular inside
sure.
of it, man. So, like, how did you get from that transition from high school athlete, like you're up there on there, and then you go to college?
Yeah.
Did you want to play basketball? Was
Yeah.
it like, so how was that transition right there to get to where you are now?
Okay, so now we can hit play on this story back
Yeah.
again, right? So I finally do get moved up, which is cool. All junior year, I sit on the bench. I'm only like 6'3". At the time, I was probably like 6'1", right? But I know for a fact, if I don't pick up some guard skills, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So because of that, and again, the backbone that was created was the fact of like, you can start me here and I'm gonna find out how to get there. Even if it's just I'm the last man standing in the room, I will get there, right?
Yeah.
Just a determination. So junior year on the bench the entire year, but again, at this point, there's only 2 seniors. So I know the entire seniors like class there is about to graduate. The time is coming. So now it's time to show the work, right? So now my senior year comes around and it's me, one of my best friends, Jeff, and then they brought actually another senior back on the. He had the thing of like giving people tryouts and maybe bringing one back, and brought one senior back, Jordan, who was such a good dude. Like he's still a cool dude to this day. But from there, that's when we get odd. At that point in time, I'm getting offers from BSC was looking at me, and a couple other like small community colleges like were looking. So I'm like, great. But again, I'm 6'3" or 6'2" at the time, and I'm playing center. So this isn't going to translate in any type of college level. So let me continue working on these skills. And I'm the only one, which probably speaks to where we got there. 6 a.m., I'm at the gym. Like, once I finally get keys to a car too, oh, please.
Yeah.
The first one in the gym every morning, getting up shots, working on my game. Last one to leave every night, getting up shots, working on my game, working on all the skill sets to where whenever that time comes, I can show them. But in practice going into that fall, my coach never gave me the opportunity. He always stuck me at this one position and said, all I need you to do is rebound and jump. That's it. We'll pass it off to everybody else. And now, mind you, I'm passing it off to juniors who are coming up under me. So, like, there's that immediate moment of, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
They had, like, an undefeated JV season, so he loved it. Again, these same people now that during the AAU seasons for me in middle school I was playing with are the same kids now. This exact same crew are the same kids now I'm playing with on the varsity level team. So it all comes full circle again.
Yeah.
And so I say, you know what? It's nothing to have a conversation. The conversation, I say, like one preseason workout when it was done, I went into it and I said, hey, coach. And I can say his name because, I mean, to see how he changed my life now, back then, Op.
Yeah.
We could have fist fought by the time the season was over with. But it was like 8 years later, it hit me why.
Yeah.
He says this. I said, Coach, I'm doing everything I can do. I can shoot, I can do this, I can do this. Why are the opportunities not coming to me in practice? Like, why are we not, like, you're trying things with him and you're trying things with him. Why are you not trying things with me? And he said, Wes, I'll put it like this. You are good at everything, but you are great at nothing. And I was like,
Bro.
man, when I tell you, I glitched. If there was ever a crash out moment that I was about to have, it was right there. Because he said it, and it took some time to register. He said, man, you a jack of all trades, but there's not one thing that you do great. So all the things you want to do, no, because you're not great at any of them. And I'm like, but I'm sure. Why would you not want somebody you can mold to be great at all? Like, it just was, I was never understanding it. And that same quote ran the rest of the season. He never backed down off that. The entire season up until we lost in the playoffs, same thing. And every day, and I had some good moments, I had some great moments. In the game, I would show these skills. And in the game, like I'm getting opportunities where it's like, oh no, he can really go. He never put any gas behind it. Never. He said, you're still gonna do this role. Your job is to rebound. Your job is to get it and kick it out and defend. That's your job. So by the time my senior year came around, I was just done. Like I was done with basketball. I was like, I don't want to deal with it. I've put in years amounts of work, all for them to be railroaded. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Because I wanted to go to school and be a dentist. So talking about that college transition. But in the process, went to community college instead. Because I was like, man, I just don't feel like waking up at 6 a.m. at a community college, going through the workouts, doing the whole nine, when my grades are still going to have to transition to the next level to, let me just go ahead and start preparing for what the real world is about to look like. But it also means I have a lot of spare time too. The quote never left. So now I'm a freshman and I got all this time at home because I'm in Huntsville still. I'm at Calhoun Community College. And I never said that coach's name, sorry. Luther Tiggs is one of basketball, like in Russellville, he's like a legend, complete legend. And like to see what he does with teams is actually incredible because he is a to the science type of coach. And he led teams to the Final Four and did great. So I would not be here if it was not for him. So I'm very grateful and very appreciative for it. I meant to say it, I just didn't say it. But I wanted to try rap. That's where rap comes from.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it was a kid who passed and they did like a cipher for him and like honoring him. And like I've technically been floating in and out of the studio my whole life. But everything that I'm hearing them say is just benefiting them. Like, oh, I'm the best rapper here. I'm the best rapper here. And I'm like, well, y'all not even talking about nothing. Like my story actually might could change some lives. Like me starting rap wasn't about me. It was about other people. But I'm like, I can do rap. I can do clothing. I started doing designs. I started getting back in the art bag. I can do this. I can do that. I can do that. The same thing showed up. Reared its head again. And I just sat there and his quote, for some reason one day, it played in my mind and I looked at everything I was doing and realized, oh, this is what he meant. I'm good at a lot of these things, but great at nothing. So it challenged me to ask myself, what is the one thing you are great at? If you're not good at any of these, or if you're not great at any of these things, what are you great at? Throughout the entire journey of basketball and the entire journey of life afterward, the one thing I could always look back and say I was great at was bringing my team together. If it was a bad day for somebody on the court, I can at least just laugh with them and joke because I was at that level. So I understand what it's like to be on the bench and have bad days. Every day was a bad day. So I know how to like talk and communicate through that moment. If my team runs up, you know, and they knock somebody down, I'm the first one up trying to pick them up, right? Hey, y'all, let's get it together. I'm the first one trying to bring everybody together in a moment. Bringing people together who did do these great things was always the one thing I could look at. And in that moment, I mean, after failing a lot, see, you know what if I just put more time and effort into that? And that's where I started looking back at all the we was talking about the mosaic, right? I was looking at all the things in my life that connect to this moment. And one of them was pro wrestling D-Generation X, right? To save a long story from being very long. It took individuals of different heavyweight, lightweight, tag team, different like personalities, perspectives, people who do things individually very, very well to come together to save their company. And at the time, they were doing it in the most loud, we need to get kicked off cable way. They were cursing, like, you know, sexual innuendos, all of that, right? They said, we're going to do the most extreme thing to get ratings. I said, okay, thinking about athletics, thinking about how they changed the business, what if we just combined all of those? And I brought people together who were so great at what they did. Hey, you're a better photographer than I'll ever be. Let's get that. Okay, you do computer engineering at some point. I know we need to do computer design. I could make my own, but you're great at it. Let's do this. You need, hey, you're doing fashion design. You need a model. Okay, cool. What do I need? I need clothes to wear. Let's figure it out. Let's bring each other together so we're not in this individual fight, which is what sports does. Everybody has it. And in football, it's 10 times more specific, right? Like a lineman's not going to be a wide receiver, but a lineman still needs a great wide receiver to score points while he's making sure the quarterback is protected. On the other side, they are getting to the quarterback to make sure the defense can get off the field and offense can be back on. Everybody has their individual thing to make things work and be together, which is where the team thing comes from with the Regenerate Society.
So since you've been excellent at bringing people together,
Sure.
right? With your coach saying that you're good at a lot of things, but excellent in none. Or I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
In your level of experience of bringing people together, what makes the difference between a good player and someone that can last 10 plus years?
Their willingness to fail. So what's always been the most interesting thing, and like with the program, we work with 17 and 24-year-olds.
Okay.
Right. So
Ooh.
Right. So flip my hat for a second.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Wesley Wright. I'm the executive director of the Regenerate Society Incorporated, and we work with 17 and 24-year-olds to teach them how to utilize their God-given abilities to serve the community. Okay. So preface, elevator pitch, then out the way. But in seeing each of those individuals come up, the way we all even started as like our core founder group, we were willing to try things. So it wasn't that we were the best. It wasn't like my best friend Nehemiah Horse. Like it wasn't that he was that great.
Is your best friend the best?
Man, look, let me tell you something. Hey, look, I can speak. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, look. Don't get me on it because I know I'll probably run his accomplice off. Right. But that's a good one. That's fair. In terms of, let's use him as an example. He probably was not the best computer engineer that the campus had to offer. But he was the one willing to be like, let's try this idea. Let's try this app out. How many people use the app? Maybe 5. He didn't see it as a failure. He said, okay, cool. I know what I can do next time to get it right. Same thing with like my fiance now, Shalika, like photography wise. I know, man. I'm trying to be like you, man.
You ain't trying to get it.
For example, when she started, she had a goal, she had a vision, but it may not have been the best, right, at the time. She might not have been the best photographer at that moment, but she was always willing to put herself and serve the community in spaces where it's like, I can serve and get better through these moments. Those are the ones that always make the greats coming through the program that we work with now. And the same thing with seeing people like Devin Tanksley, who's gone from like a volunteer to the operations director of our program, just because he's willing to put himself out there. Like failure has been the biggest thing. I'm not saying he fails at like everything. I'm saying like to be able to say, hey, I know what it's like to get cut. I know what it's like to not do this right. I know what it's like to try to put an event together and it don't go the way I thought it would. Those are the moments where, and you have to come back. When they come back and say, but let's do it again. That's the push and the motivation to where they can use their experience to actually see they got better.
Right.
And those have been the ones that have always gone to the next level. Whether you're in a jersey or not in a jersey. Same way I thought I could shoot threes and I could never shoot. It was only until I found out, oh yeah, you missed really badly. And I went back to work to figure out, okay, how do I perfect this motion? Which is where, like I said, that head coach was great because he was a shooter. So like, even though I didn't like him, it made me tune into every specific detail that he did to say, okay, if I am gonna shoot, I'm gonna get my form right so that when I shoot again, it can be better. It's always just learning how to fail and getting to that next level. Or be willing to fail. It's okay. The only time we fear failure is when we think it's not gonna happen again. And that is the one thing that holds back that age group just as much. I got a kid who's incredible at terms of like hosting events and doing these amazing, like they're funny. But their one fear was like, what if I mess this up? And I'm like, is it the last time you're gonna do it? No. Okay. Well, you might. So I'm never one to sugarcoat it with them. You probably will mess something up. I mess things up all the time and I practice things. But it doesn't matter if you're not gonna show up again. If you don't show up, then what you messed up will always live with you. And I get why you'd be afraid of that. But if you know you're going to show up again and you know you're going to get another opportunity or you're going to make a way to have another opportunity, now you're giving yourself a new chance for that to never matter.
Right.
It'll only matter in your preparation because you'll remember it. But outside of that, you always give them a chance.
It was really good, bro.
Hey, man.
And I'm gonna set you up for this last question.
Hit me.
All right, because you're philosophical. So, when you think about this, man,
Okay.
when you think about principles,
Yeah.
principles can live in whatever arena
Okay.
on the face of the earth and still be true.
Mhm.
Right? The truth doesn't need a cosigner.
Mhm.
It doesn't need explanation. It just is. So, a principle, for example, would be oxygen.
Okay.
So, right now we're breathing.
Mhm.
Right, but the level of breathing in here, if something happens within the ventilation and everything, it's not going to be the same as outside.
For sure.
But it still doesn't change the fact that the principle is we're supposed to breathe in oxygen, right? It's just the parameters that we're in right now is just making it less accessible.
Your lungs got to navigate. Go ahead.
Same thing with going into water. So you jump into water, breathe if you want to.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that principle is not that it's not true. It's just your environment is making that principle less accessible for you to operate in. You need different equipment. You need just different. So same thing with gravity. All right, we can go on and on and on. So
Nah, you in your bag. I ain't stopping.
what do you think? What do you think? Appreciate it. What do you think happens to athletes that value things that are not transferable in other arenas? And they take it and try to make it work in another one, but it's not a principle.
That's a tough one. And it's only tough because I'm a little biased. My first reaction would say they will never know if they don't try it. So I'm always appreciating the effort of you don't know if that's a principle until you try it and see if you abandon it. So like, for example, let's switch it up. Let's do music, for example. So as an artist, I would like to think my principle would be I will never curse on music. Right? Like that's an idea I had until I got to a place where I'm like, okay, now I'm working with other artists that I actually always wanted to work with.
Okay.
But my storytelling wanted to change because I wanted to start appealing to a different audience. Right? So now that I have the opportunity to do it, I've got the support to do it. The question now looks like, do I still keep the same energy?
Okay.
And sometimes what would make it really interesting is that I think about the language of the people I'm around and how just because I don't curse, it wouldn't validate what I'd say. So now, just because I'm telling you, same way we're talking about the truth,
right.
I can tell you the exact same truth, but just because my language does not appeal to what you like, you don't validate that my truth is important. And so moments like that would actually go into the music, for example, right? We're cross-transferring here to where it's like, ooh, keeping that in my mind, this story may not even connect with the audience I want it to connect to if I don't do it. So now I'm in an opportunity where, okay, if this is really a principle of yours, will you stand on it or will you move?
Yeah.
I chose to personally stand on it. But in that moment, it does make you question what that looks like. So I understand if people are finding things out as they experience what, because I feel like life is like that. Like, I never know, because I'm huge on exposure. I never know what's on the other side of that door till I'm challenged to say, not just get to that other side of the door, how are you going to open it? You can walk up to the handle. Are you somebody who even likes to open doors with handles? Or do you want the door open for you?
Yeah.
If that door is not going to open for you, do you even want to be on that side of the door? You'll never know. And so now you start to see like, oh, no, I don't want, it's a cliche one, but like, not a bad one for those who like it. Like, I don't want anyone opening doors for me. You will never know until someone challenges you to get to the other side.
Yeah.
So finding out what those principles look like, it takes the exposure first. And then your results now on when you review it is when you start to see like, ooh, is that a bad idea or not?
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's say, for example, certain lessons of like aesthetic. I really thought that if I focused on this aesthetic when I was, because I thought I always used to want to be the cleanest person on the court too, even though I was on the bench.
That's one of the principles, bro. It's like, man, that armband ain't finna make you shoot.
You know what movie I just watched last night too?
What was it?
Friday Night Lights. I just watched Friday Night Lights, the movie. The movie. I just watched it. Man, Booba Miles gonna do this with black Nikes on his feet until one of his legs never mattered.
Hey, bro, that's my testimony, bro.
I know.
Man, that was dry.
I know. You see what I did?
It was real dry.
Come on.
That was real dry, bro.
Come on.
I can't laugh, bro.
Come on. And you know where they should read about it? In the book.
Yeah, you're right.
I got you, man. So
Yeah,
that's an example, right? Like that's a great example.
That's
of
real.
Principles
That's real.
change. So now, if you take that same idea of I always want to look at sharp on the court, sometimes you get into the real world and realize that principle just doesn't matter. Like we was laughing at my glasses. Like I always thought, like man, like appearance wise, and even in an appearance driven industry like music, I'm always like, oh man, like I need to make sure I'm good here. Until you get to like talking to people, and I did a show with my glasses on, and these raps were still raps. These bars still got off, and now I'm the one sitting here looking like, oh, well, maybe my principle didn't matter. I'm sitting over here worried about contacts and all these other things, and now you just learn that some things don't transfer the same way because context. So it's twofold.
What I thought about when you said like, let's say for the parents, right, and people, I thought about a person that would go against what you said, and
Sure.
I love thinking like that, right? Let's say somebody that says like they would take it as you're saying appearance doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Right.
If we look out there, because right now y'all can't see what we're looking at, but if it's a tree out there, right, and let's say I go out there, we leave, we part ways, and I say, hey man, there's an apple tree back there, bro. Like, man, hey, it's an apple tree back there, though. Everybody says it's an apple tree, bro. It's like an apple tree, got the same bark and everything.
Yeah.
And then you hear from a friend, be like, hey man, you heard about over there at the office, man, there's an apple tree over there, man. You just keep hearing about this apple
You
tree.
hear that energy, okay?
So you go to there, right? And you walk to that apple tree. You look around and got leaves, but it has no apples. It appears to be an apple tree.
Yeah.
But you can't get no fruit from it because it hasn't bared anything. So like from your concept, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I'm hearing that you can be yourself authentically. Like you can put on something, but it doesn't go to show what's on the inside of you and what you're able to produce.
For sure.
Am I hearing that correctly?
For sure. Like that's a one way you can take it. I think I was just trying to use an example of it, but let's stay there because that's a good one. So going back to what you asked in terms of transferable principle, right? If you ask me what my personal opinion on that is, I'm always going to say always be yourself.
Yeah.
Period. But the answers that I was saying go into it's only when you test who you think you are that you know. Like that's it. Like if I'm trying to be you and I want to be the best, whether it be podcaster or speaker, and I'm more you than me, I will never know what my principles are. So I think you might dress really fly. So now I am saying to myself, I need to dress like you to be you. But you will never know if me dressing as me will work because I'm not trying to be me. And maybe I don't have to dress like you because my words go over people's heads, right? Or not go over people's heads in a bad way, but they connect different.
Yeah.
So now you have people like, music, right? We were just in the zone. Like a J. Cole where it's like, if as an artist, I'd never see you in any major brands. I don't even know if you own clothes with buttons anymore, right? But he always said, I need to look like Drake to do it. Then we never would know that, oh, there's a way and a lane to go in this as long as I focus on the main thing and make the main thing the main thing. So it just depends on what that looks like because you're right. There are certain spaces where they would say your appearance is everything. Yeah. The question is, if you're going to walk, and we just talked about your store. We may not have the time, but let's use it as an example. I'm a blanket use it as an example. If I walk into a room thinking this is how I need to look, I will never know what the effect is of walking in a room as me to see what that gets. So yes, you are correct. Transferable things work. What works for you in this space might work for you, let's say as a teacher. That's right. What works for you as a teacher might work in the podcast space, but you will never know if you don't try it. That's real. Bro. Then you can make whatever decision you want about it. And nobody else, I mean, there are people that are mentors that can tell you, hey, I could have told you beforehand that wasn't going to work. Sure. I also could have told you, hey, it might. Yeah. Because depending on who they are, their context matters. But until you do it, now your context says, hey man, when I'm talking to a young homie, like, hey, you want to try and get into this like this conference market, be the best version of you, and it will stand out more than anything else. The question is just your results are gonna make you question what version of you want to be. Yeah. It's gonna push back. every time, every single time. And in an athletic standpoint, that always goes to your training. You want to try this? You want to see if you can jump from half court? Great. Let's see if you can actually do it. And then you see if that's important to you. Because it's either going to make you do one or two things. You're either going to do your training harder. You're either going to go crazier in the off season. You're either going to try to work hard as you can, get up earlier, focus on your diet, or you're going to get up and say, I never want to try to jump there again.
Yeah.
And we never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So things will transfer just upon your exposure. So yeah, it's a good one. Appearance can be one of those, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. That's good, bro. Man, that's strong too. And I appreciate you for being here today, bro. And just gracing us with your time, man, because I think that your story is, like I said, it's complex, but when you listen to it at the level that we were able to listen to today, man, it can provide a lot of navigation for people that probably isn't getting their way right now.
Yeah.
Man, and it's tough. It can go for a person that's no longer inside of the athletic space, but we use athletic concepts all the time to make sense of the world, bro. So I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think the biggest thing in the takeaway, which I think I've always learned, is that even when a path is redirected, I'm so mad that we didn't record earlier, but it's okay. Even when you feel like there's a pathway and a roadblock, I've always said God speaks to me in hindsight. Like, I don't have to give you a new answer because I gave it to you a while back.
Yeah.
You just need to, we were just talking about, you just got to go back and look at it, right? And when I look back and see it, there were moments where you're like, no, I was able to make it through this. This is something that I love. This is a way I can do it, and just be bold enough to try it. Because there are lessons to where, let's say, for example, I always wanted to grow up to be an astronaut. Maybe I never got the chance to be an astronaut, but maybe in the pathway, it showed me that I actually care about like statistics more. Or maybe I never got a chance to go to the NFL, but maybe I want to fight on policy for players.
Yeah.
So you can still get there. You just got to be willing to try it.
It's good, man. Thank you, man.
For
hey,
sure.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Be tuned in for the next episode, man. I don't know how we're going to be able to top this, but the culture won't change until we do. Let's get it.